Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fantastic Comedians Paradise. It's a podcast where I speak to scintillating, amazing, beautiful, sexy, gorgeous, beautiful people from around the world. Sensuous people that all inspire us and that are very unique characters in the creators and entertainment world. Now today's guest is someone you know very well. Yes, it's me again. How are we all doing, my fellow comedians, people who love comedy? Are we all good? Now, yes, I haven't got a guest this week. It's me again. So we get to have another chat. One thing I would love for you guys to do is send me an email, drop me a message, and let's have a chat in this particular episode. Today, what am I going to talk about? Yes, let's talk about working in a job and being a comedian. And I think that's one of the good points definitely made by Kevin J on the podcast. And yeah, I think this is something that is definitely, from my experience, I think definitely a good thing. I mean, for anyone that all knows, the payment in comedy is still pretty poor. With cost of living crisis, and also with I've heard with comedy that the payments haven't gone up since the 90s. I don't know. I was just born down there, but I don't know about that. Yeah, it's not, unless you're really top tier of comedy, the pay's pretty iffy at times, isn't it? And I think I definitely agree with that statement. I definitely agree with that statement. 100%. To do this bloody thing, you need lots of money. It's bloody expensive. Yeah. I mean, I think I definitely agree with it. Even bloody, I think some of you may know of this, but Uncle Roger, Nigel Wynn is his real name. Used to gig with him, know him a bit. I remember when he'd become sort of a pro comic. He was doing the Comedy Store in the UK, doing all these top clubs. And I had a chat with him. He said to me, I just come back from work. And I was like, what? I thought you were a pro comic. Like, no. And he says, nah, man. And he talks like this, yeah, fam. I didn't come to London to be poor. And it gets me sometimes when you see, yeah, some of the rates. I mean, yes, I think definitely that is a point, getting a job. But me, at the moment, I am working a job, and I work, drum roll, I work as a receptionist in a soft play area. I think that's what I do. It's all right. Definitely better than the other jobs I've done where I would. It's all right. It's fun chatting to people, getting to know people. Some of the customers are lovely. The only ones that I don't like are the dodgy ones that try and get in for free, and all these funny little things they do, and all these. I had a couple of weeks ago, I bloody someone used a race card, which was a bit. I don't know. I'm a minority myself, and when I looked at that, I just thought, what, you're gonna use the race card, what, to save an extra £5? That's soft play. You're like gonna diminish the whole point of the thing to doing something like that. That's it was crazy. And what I was trying to, the rules of the soft play are, of course, this much to come in, this and that, and you're not supposed to eat food in the soft play. I told them about that. And when the friends come in, well, I didn't bloody see it. You think, oh, you let them in. No. What good would that do? It's it's a very busy bloody soft play. There's so much going on. And then that's when they brought that. To just get a £5 off, just to get a free ticket to get in the soft play centre. It's like, bloody hell. Madness. It's interesting. I worked in web development, I worked in coffee shops. It's all things that my mum doesn't want me to tell other people. It's going all right so far, but I mean, yeah, with a 9 to 5 job, the difficulties with it are bloody promoting your gig, doing the work needed to do, like flyering, working social media, promoting your own stuff as well, all that. And you've got a gig as well and all of that. I always feel like with a morning job, it enables you to do it easier because you get to finish that and you get on with the other things throughout the day. Okay, maybe you might not get much sleep. You work at very unsociable hours, but I feel, it's worth doing it if you want to do something that you like doing and you want to do it well. I've taken the chance of doing a 9 to 5 with a soft play centre, and at the moment, juicing the hours a bit to try and get some more work done, but still it feels a bit off. I feel as a comedian, as a comedy bar, for me, I think it works better I have to work at hours that are suitable for others rather than myself. That's part and parcel of the job. It's a very boring job. You say hello, you check people in. That's it, really. You just try and charm people. I mean, I feel a bit, sometimes it's a bit like being a bouncer, but I ain't no bouncer. If you've looked at me, you look at the sound, I ain't no bouncer. But yeah, definitely, it's better having a job and doing comedy than being someone desperate who's going to try and fight desperately for, like, try and squeeze money out of open mic nights. Ugh. Or bloody be in a position where you have to travel to Luton and you're in southwest London for £20. Oof. It's yeah, and yeah, I think also because comedy's not regulated as much. There's the Live Comedy Association, but so many things are outside. It's not so many other industries where they're very regulated and there's lots of things in place. In comedy, there's none of that really. It's they're working doing it, but it's not that strict. So many cases I hear pro comics, big names, not getting paid by promoters, and promoters making it so hard for them to get paid. So yeah, I think definitely you need a job because you don't know what's going to happen in comedy. There's so many dodgy things. Yeah, being a comedy promoter. Oof. I emceed my own gig on Wednesday. That was an interesting one. I did for anyone on the podcast that doesn't know, doesn't know this comic, but like Ben Vandervelde is a bloody brilliant compere, amazing compere. What he does, he's terrific, and he does an absolutely terrific course on like improv for MCing. It was great. So I did one of those workshops a couple of weeks ago. I tried a bit of what he did, one of the shows when I was MCing a couple of weeks ago, and as I was trying it, I mean, I'd interact and so for you to get the context of what the course is, maybe I shouldn't say too much, but part of the podcast, so I'll say as much as I'll say a lot on what it's about. What he does, he says main things that I'm seeing: love bombing, You got giving compliments, love bombing, and playing the assumptions and would it be. So you say hello to someone and you go, "Hello there, what's your name, sir?" I don't know if they're dressed in a woolly hat. Say, "Oh my God, where did you get a woolly hat from? Has Santa lost a hat?" Would it be maybe you're one of the workers, you're off? Maybe you're not a worker. Maybe you're one of the factory makers, and maybe you're one of the. Maybe you went to Lapland as a tourist and decided to get that woolly hat. That's what happened, isn't it? And then you're part of some scheme. So that's not very funny, but that's more of what you're saying. You compliment them, say you're beautiful, and then you go into assumptions and would it be. So I tried that a couple of weeks ago, and it was awkward. I went too long, and I couldn't get to a funny bit. I've so many times when we write jokes, you need to get a punchline. You don't meander on, make it funny, and that's what I'd be doing. And I did that, and I went way too long, and it was very difficult at the start. Curable, he's a very good act. He did okay, but I did create such an awkward atmosphere. It was tense right at the start, so there's obviously a big losing battle. And the gig was probably the worst one I've had in Wimbledon. But it's one of those things. We all have good gigs, we all have some bad gigs. But I took on from that I need to be sharper and I need to get myself in the right frame of mind for it. So what I did was, there's a great comedy writer, Grania Maguire. She writes a lot of comedians. She gave a good writing course. Now, in terms of me writing jokes and being that sort of comic gag merchant and any of that, not really me. I'd say I'm an anti-comedian and a clown, really. That's my sort of stand-up. But what I did gain from that is I like the exercise she comes up with in terms of getting your brain sharp and ready for writing. So two of the games that she puts are, what's it called? You write a word in a dictionary, like 4 or 5 words from the dictionary, like diatribe, comedian's paradise. Then you write down 10 meanings for those different words to get you sharp. And she also mentions a good exercise on like your mama jokes. So you start writing 10 different uses with a small and big pen, toy, Buzz Lightyear, and you write them down to get your brain sharp. And then she says on top of the your mama jokes exercise, do one where you write 10 insults for random things. And that's what I did. I did that. And also what I forgot to mention, Ben van der Waals says in the exercise, I think a lot of comics do this, is you go in a room and you start putting names of objects in the room, like chair, toy, still. And then you try and remember what the object before that was. So if I said the object was called toy, and I shouted out, oh, pencil case beforehand, I'll call the toy pencil case. And if there was an object like a glass case before the toy, I'll call that the toy pencil case. And then he said also with the other exercise, say what an object isn't. So right now I'm wearing glasses, I call them a pig. Right now I've got a moustache, I say I have a beard. I say beard. And that's what I did this week to get sharper. And I did that before when I was in the room, setting up the room, just to get myself in a sharp, quick mind to get ready for MC. I'm sometimes a bit dozy, so I need that. And yeah, it was quite sharp. It was good. I got everything all prepped up, sound, lighting, And yeah, I did a pretty good job of following Danny McGinley's exercise of doing 3 cheers to find out who is worth talking to the crowd. So you say, is anyone from out of town? Give us a cheer. Give us a cheer if you're seen live comedy before. Give us a cheer if you've been at this venue before. And those who cheer are the ones you want to talk to. So I did that. Did the compliment exercise. Because I was sharp, I was able to gauge with them, banter with them. I found some very funny bits. And I left. It was quite sharp. And yeah, the show went quite well. The only thing that I did, I think so many comics do it when they MC, is you go on too long in the second half. I had them, and definitely I think the second half is the bit where they're more relaxed. Did that, and I went too far with that. I should have just kept it short, maybe 5 minutes, but because I was enjoying it, interacting, getting laughs, I carried on and made it a bit awkward. What was the point I was getting at? Yes. MCing is bloody hard, and I think it's underrated. There's a lot of things you got to do beforehand to get it in the right place, and it's so important to making a show good. I learned from what happened, and that's what I did. The show was pretty good. But one of the things that I've been doing recently, and I think maybe a lot of promoters have this, if you're running a show, or if you're a comedian, you probably get annoyed by this, is being able to take comics off early if they are doing bloody not good well enough. That's something. One act this week didn't do too well, and I won't say who. But yeah, that's one thing I've not done. Bloody annoying. So I think something you got used to. So probably one of the most annoying things as a comedy promoter, because you've made a mistake and anyway. One little secret between you and me and whoever's listening, what I do now when I'm booking acts for longer spots or paid spots is I will just message them. I will not post in any comedy forums, or I will make sure it's all ask around. No, in the forums and then give me a clip and then maybe getting on and this and that. No. You need proof. That's what I'll do. Sure, taking big risks. Dying for 5 minutes, nothing. 10 minutes, bloody hell. Oh, it's a ghost train. And also, I avoid me annoying comics. But I refuse in the spots they want, so I don't put myself in that position. So if you're a promoter, and I say do that. And for anyone that's listening who's a comic and getting a spot, I apologise, but you got to do what you got to do. Otherwise, the show's shit. What do I want to talk about as well? Yes. What's been going on recently that's been fun? Yeah, yes, and also, yes, act. And one thing that's annoying, the one thing I think all I should do is comics. What's going on? If you're not doing well for a certain amount of time, there ain't no fucking Da Vinci Code or Eureka. How about make the jobs for the host and the other comedians easier? If they ain't your crowd, get off. Don't push. Oh, they're gonna suddenly laugh at a funny line. Fuck off. No, there's no such thing as magic. And what's this bloody other thing? Yeah, bloody be aware of the room. So like, oh, right, it's a bit difficult. Oh, the joke's not working. Right, I know what I'm doing. Keep doing what's not working. There's no adjustment. You don't do any crowd work. I don't see what this process of some comics I see. They go on a big notepad. Why are you letting them know that it's new material? Don't hide it. Just say, "Oh, it's a bad. This didn't work." What's the point? And what's with? Oh, you got new material to try, and you're just going to deliver what's written on the script, and you're not going to work with what's there. If you have new material, it's not going to work if the people don't like you or trust you on the stage or find you funny. It's not going to work or save. If you want to give it, if your jokes aren't working at the start or whatever, and you want to do new stuff, first win them on side. That's you can't. What are you playing at? Oh, that is common sense if you're performing. I am no Michael McIntyre, but I can see certain things that make bloody sense. Meandering. What do I want to talk about that's interesting? That's gonna be Kushti. Ah, yes. Are you guys ready for this? Tomorrow. And it'll be next week by the time the episode goes out. I'm going to be interviewing the fantastic, the sizzling Wend Curtis. Oh, it's going to be good. I'm interested to talk about comedy works and see how that works. So that's what's happening. And that, I think, I'm just rambling on my thoughts, my little takeaways. That's what's going to be happening next week. I will speak. Oh, yes, another thing. What do I want to say? Nope, that's it. I will see you guys at the next episode. Hope you've enjoyed this 20-minute podcast interview or this audio recording. If it's shit, don't leave a review, don't leave a comment. Just message me personally and let me know. If you loved it, share it, spread it like a virus, give it some love, 5-star review, comments, whatever. Give it all the love you want. And also, you can give me £50 if you want. My PayPal is also there. That's it, but I'll see you next week.